Joining us now, Democratic Senator of Massachusetts and member of the committee, Ed Markey. It's good to see you again, Senator, and I know you've been collecting stories about how Secretary Kennedy's HHS has impacted people in your state. How are they helping inform the questions you plan to ask at today's hearing?
Yeah, thank you. I'm issuing a report today, the RFK Make America Sick Again agenda. That's really what this is all about. Right now, as we're talking over in the House of Representatives, they're having a marathon hearing on slashing Medicaid, cutting a program which provides essential services for tens of millions of families in our country, the health care which they need. At the same time, over in the Senate, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is about to arrive to testify to defend a 40% cut in NIH research for Alzheimer's, for heart disease, for diabetes, for all of those diseases which are running through all American families. He wants to slash that. A 45% cut in the CDC budget. That's the radar that we use in order to detect COVID or detect measles. We're in the middle of a measles outbreak, the largest one in decades, and they want to slash the CDC budget by 45%. They want to slash community health services where people, especially poor people, can go in and get the preventative care which they need by 20%. They want to slash by 15% the funding for mental health and substance abuse treatment in our country. So this is a multi-pronged attack upon the healthcare system in our nation. And what my report ultimately is able to document is how it's harming ordinary families. They're the ones that are waiting for the breakthroughs in cancer. They're the ones that need the help for substance abuse and mental health, and they are putting all of it on the chopping block to be destroyed. So it is a bad day, and on top of that, all the cuts that Trump and Elon Musk have already put into effect, slashing funding illegally for research, for hospitals, for health centers across this country. So it's a three-pronged attack, and that is the headline for today. It's what they are attempting to perpetrate as a health care crime against our nation.
It sounds like you're loaded for bear, and I'm guessing that there are other Democrats on the committee who are as well. What can you accomplish? What can you message that isn't already out there?
Well, the more that we put a spotlight on these issues is the more that we're hoping that Republicans are going to back up, because they're going to understand what the implications are for their constituents, or another way of describing them, their voters in 2026.
Well, have you gotten any indication in your conversations with them that that's happening?
Yes, we can already see that there are senators especially who are saying that it would be a huge mistake to have a huge cut to Medicaid. So that's my hope. I'm talking to Republican senators about what a big mistake it would be to cut research for Alzheimer's and cancer and the other diseases that can have a cure which are found for them. So I'm already seeing the early signs that Republican senators, at least, maybe not the MAGA-controlled House of Representatives, but over in the Senate, there are senators who are starting to listen, and the more we put the spotlight on it, and today's hearing is an additional opportunity that we're going to have to demonstrate the harms to families across our country. And I think, ultimately, we have a chance, just a chance, of having some Republicans' conscience turn into Republican courage to vote against these cuts.
You mentioned measles, and it comes, this testimony that we saw earlier today from RFK Jr. on the House side, comes as measles cases here in the U.S. have topped 1,000 for the first time in 5 years. Here's what Secretary Kennedy told that panel this morning.
We are doing a better job at CDC today than any nation in the world at controlling this measles outbreak.
Better job than anywhere in the world. Do you accept that statement?
Look at the United States, even right now, is only 38th internationally in health outcomes. What we need is the Secretary of Health and Human Services to say, everyone get vaccinated. Everyone, it's safe. That's the message he should be sending. He's the top healthcare official in our nation. He still won't say it. And so that's the danger. When there is a cloud that is left, especially because of his own past history, what he said about vaccines, until he absolutely says that not only should everyone get vaccinated, but we are going to put the national HHS resources into the communities that need it, then we're going to see a continued explosion of measles and then followed by other diseases that we thought otherwise had been eradicated, not only in the United States, but because of our leadership around the world.
And let me ask you, we only have a minute left, Senator, but President Trump in Qatar today, you told Time Magazine his plan to accept a luxury jet from them would turn Air Force One into Bribe Force One. We saw Chuck Schumer vow to block political nominees at DOJ over this, but is there anything more Democrats can do? We just reported today retrofitting it could cost upwards of $1 billion.
Yeah, this is like the Qataris saying, we're going to give you a $400 million jalopy, but it's going to take you $1 billion to make it work out on the road. So that's not a gift. That's just out and out a bribe because they know, because of the vanity of Donald Trump, that he would love to have something that is appointed in a way that's more conducive with his idea of how Air Force One should be like Mar-a-Lago. The problem is we don't know if the Qataris have turned this plane into Radio Shack with listening devices in every single part of it. So this whole plane will have to be disassembled, and it will have to be rebuilt from the ground up in order to make sure that it meets all of our security needs, but also that the president, as the plane is taking off, potentially in the unavoidable event, perhaps, that could occur in the future of a nuclear war, that he is protected, that all subsequent presidents are protected so that they can continue to have Air Force One as the command center. So all of this is going to cost at least 2, 3, 4 times as much money as the gift that the Qataris seem to be giving him to just match his vanity in terms of how comfortable he should be on Air Force One. It's a lot more than that, Mr. President. It's the security of our country. It's the place where the commander-in-chief will be able to protect our country in the case of emergency.
Senator Ed Markey, thank you. It's good to see you again.